Well, this was seriously underwhelming. Let's wrap up the Total Drama vlog with the last 6 episodes of Total Dramarama. When you think of a season finale, you probably think they'll come up with some creative situations to make the most of the series. But the problem is that most of the last episodes are so boring. Look, I understand not all cartoons have a season story arc and it makes Back to the Barnyard feel like the 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon, but the whole purpose of making a season finale is to make people hype up for next season. But the last 6 episodes, they don't care about it at all. Okay, let's finally wrap this up. Episode 46, Weiner Takes All. In this episode, Chef accidentally forgot to book the mascot of National Hot Dog Day called Hot Diggity Doggy Dog. What's National Hot Dog Day, you ask? Well, it's kind of like Easter, but instead of hunting for Easter eggs, you hunt for hot dogs. Because apparently this is a big deal for the Total Drama kids and the daycare. Then again, if we have holidays like Talk Like a Pirate Day, I guess anything's possible. Because he didn't book the mascot, Chef calls in a substitute, which in this case is an Australian man dressed in a kangaroo costume. And instead of hunting hot dogs, he tells them about the ways of Australia. And of course, things don't really turn out as planned, so Izzy tries to help Chef to save National Hot Dog Day. There's nothing much to say about this episode, but I will admit, it is kind of creative that there's a holiday dedicated to hot dogs. And there are a few giggles here and there, especially with the flashbacks on how Chef ruined the other holidays like Halloween, Arbor Day, and even Christmas. But there are still some problems, one of which regarding the Australian man. The problem with this character, he's pretty much a jerk to most of the Total Drama kids. It's even more stupid that he has a magic power that actually transport you to Australia. That doesn't work like that! A kangaroo's pouch is meant to be a resting area for the little kangaroo, not transporting them to a magical world. He's not Rippy-Roo. Now, before I wrap up this episode, allow me to talk about a Total Drama character that is actually from Australia and why is she a likable character, and then this Australian man is Jasmine. She's a survival expert. She cares about people like Sean and Sammy and Sky. And she's also a strong, independent woman, and she also helps a lot during the team challenges and the individual immunity challenge. That what makes Jasmine one of the most recognizable and memorable characters in Pocket-Tail Island. I can actually imagine her to punch that guy into the face. But there is one thing to remember mostly about this episode. A boxing match between a man in a kangaroo suit and Chef dressed in a dog costume. Episode 47, Apoca-lice Now. Okay, this is the only episode in this video that I actually really like. In this one, Chef gets an unexpected visit from General Laos, the leader of the Lice Army, who Chef can understand him for some reason. But the General wants Chef to bring in 3 kids so they can eat their scalps. Of course, the kids are against it, so they decide to come up with an elaborate plan to defeat the lice. One of the reasons why this episode is mostly entertaining is that they make this entire episode into a straight-out war between the humans and the lice. It doesn't seem like that much since you can just step on those little paths, but it gets really crazy when the lice transform into a monster lice, kind of similar to the Ralphs from Ralph Breaks the Internet when he turns into this giant Ralph monster. And they pretty much fight back and forth with the lice aiming at the kids and the kids spraying water at the lice. The kids also get their own infirmary in case one of them gets infected with lice, and they even have a monkey to deal with the problem. A monkey that's a doctor. I have so many questions. In the end, there's an obvious option to make the lice go away, but overall, that war zone was pretty entertaining. The best way to describe this episode is that you're watching a cartoon series of Starship Troopers. And if you're the kind of person that enjoys watching war movies involving bugs, I kind of recommend this. So even though the later episodes I'm going to talk about are not considered good, at least for that one, I can look back on how entertaining it was compared to Invasion of the Booker Snatchers. Episode 48, No More Mr. Nice Guy. There's nothing much to talk about this episode, to be very honest. It's pretty much evil lawn gnome doing some mischievous deeds. Chef brings in some lawn gnomes to the daycare, even though those gnomes are used to protect a lawn, not a playground. But anyway, I guess they were meant for decorations. And by the way, Chef got those evil lawn gnomes from a mysterious salesman. He warns the kids not to take out the gnome's hat because something superstition will happen. Duncan tricks Jude into taking off one of the hats by making them do a hat swap, but that ended up backfiring on Jude because the lawn gnome comes to life and tricks Jude into wearing the lawn gnome hat, and thus he turns into stone. He also tricks the other kids into wearing them and frees the other two gnomes. The gnomes pretty much do every annoying, mischievous deed you can think of, but Duncan thinks they're pretty cool and he wants to join them. And there is nothing really much to talk about this episode other than evil lawn gnomes. Blah blah blah, the gnomes are evil, blah blah blah, Duncan likes them, blah blah blah, cool montage with Duncan and the gnomes, blah blah blah. He discovers that the kids are going to turn into cookies by the lawn gnomes, blah blah blah. Oh my, Cody turns into a cookie! Blah blah blah, Duncan saves the day, blah blah blah, they go back to the store, blah blah blah. Owen is eating Cody! So yeah, the only thing that was worth remembering was that Cody turned into a gingerbread man. Because apparently this was a thing for the gnomes, that they turn people into cookies and sell them. So why didn't I find the gnomes really interesting as the lights from the last episode? Well, the problem is, I don't like these gnomes at all. I know they were made on purpose to make them annoying and mischievous, but man, I don't like them. With the farting glitter and their annoying voices, I just want to kick them off into space. I pretty much have a good time with the lawn gnomes from Goosebumps, both the TV series and the movie. And back onto the Cody Gingerbread Man, we never see him turn back to normal. It's pretty much we're Cody all over again. And I know at the end of the episode, Chef brings Owen in to bring Cody in so they can reverse the spell, but Owen was eating him! So Chef, if you ever come across a mysterious shop again, I say order some Frogurt. Episode 49, Look Who's Clocking. And we're back into stupid territory again. In this episode, Chef goes on the internet to explain the importance of daylight savings time, which for some strange reason, Cartoon Network has a thing for that. There was a daylight saving episode on Teen Titans Go and on regular show. Anyways, Duncan came up with honestly a dumb idea that if he moves the clock forward in time, they can leave early. And for some strange reason, it ended up bringing characters from the past into the present, like a mummy, a caveman, and a dinosaur. Okay, that's not how daylight savings time works. Just because you accidentally set the clock forward in time doesn't mean all the characters from the past will come into here. It doesn't work like that. Even when they bring in those characters, they're actually not that funny. You have a velociraptor that rips out every scene from Jurassic Park, a caveman that plays whack-a-mole, and a mummy that eats a lot. And what's worse, we already know how they're gonna fix it all. The problem is that we had to wait for the characters to figure out how they're gonna fix it. I know I'm being a bit harsh on this episode, but let me explain the regular show episode. In that episode, Mordecai and Rigby set up not just one clock, but lots of clocks in the park. And when they mess up the clocks run, it causes the park to lift up into the sky and transport them into the ocean because they create a new time zone. That's why that episode works. That's why it's funny. That also explains why daylight savings time is important. In this one, it's just a generic time travel gone wrong episode that we've seen in other shows. There's no other way to put it, but this was a waste of time and my life. Episode 50, Harold Swatter and the Goblet of Flies, and things get pretty bad from here. In this one, Owen finds what he believes is a magic wand. The only person other than the audience that doesn't believe that stick is magic is Harold. Even though in the original series it's fully established he went to Magic Seed's magic camp. But the reason why he doesn't believe in magic here is because he caught a magician who tells his assistant that magic is fake. Who says that to their assistant? On top of that, he acts like he tells that to her for every show they made. But anyways, while Owen is trying out his magic spells, he accidentally turned Harold into a fly. But in actuality, Harold is locked from the inside and the world is pretty much killing him. But Chef hates flies and he's actually a fly swatting expert. And the kids are trying to protect the fly from getting killed by Chef because they still believe that Harold is a fly. Because we already know that Harold is not a fly, what makes you think I should care about whether or not Chef actually kills the fly or not? On top of that, I actually feel sorry for Harold from getting hurt outside. He falls down a pit, he gets struck by lightning, and then aliens come. I know he can be a bit annoying regarding his nerdy behavior in season 2 and 3, but in this series, he doesn't deserve that. So yeah, this episode was bad. Next! Episode 51, Stink, Stank, Stunk. And those are the 3 words I would best describe for this episode. In its final season finale episode, Chef is putting the daycare on serious lockdown because he's being hunted by a skunk. Why? Because when he was a kid, he accidentally stepped on a skunk's tail, and that skunk was so angry, he spread every single last ounce of his sting on him. And now every year, that skunk pretty much hunts him down and gives him the exact same treatment. And so the kids are trying to protect Chef from the skunk, but Duncan wants to bring the skunk inside so they can leave early today. I had to ask myself, why? Does this skunk really need to hunt down Chef every year because of an accident that happened? This skunk hates Chef so much he actually has a calendar on when he wants to stank him. What? I mean, yeah, I can't blame the skunk, and I don't really like Chef in this spin-off series, but still, he's not worth it. That was years ago. It was an accident. He was only a kid. I had to ask myself, does a skunk actually do this to his other victims? You know, someone else other than Chef who accidentally stepped on his tail and he sprays them and he hunts them down every year? There's not really much to talk about the side plot regarding Chef and Duncan, and I won't give away the ending and whether or not Chef survives the skunk or not, but I will say that Duncan is pretty much next on the skunk's hit list. It's not a bad episode, but I had to ask this episode, what and why? And there you have it, everyone. I finally reviewed every Season 1 episode of Total Dramarama. All that is left for me is to make a wonder review out of it and share my personal thoughts on the overall season. It will take some time to work on it, but in the meantime, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe me for a new review and other projects, and possibly more Total Drama vlogs. I'm Matt Harry Patrick, and I'll see you all very soon.